Welcome back to another episode of the Thoughts When I Close My Eyes podcast. I am your host, Jaden Bakhti, or JXBS as I'm known as in the social media space. This is episode number 2. Episode number 1 came out about 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for the incredible feedback that you guys have given me over those past 2 weeks. You guys have absolutely blew it up. You've killed it. You've blown up my phone and just given me such incredible feedback, guys. You guys are keeping me motivated to do this. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to do this now. Episode 2 will be coming out now. It's Wednesday today, Wednesday the 18th. This is going to be coming out August 20th, which is the Friday. I'm going to try and keep these podcast episodes bi-weekly and stay consistent as best as I can. Going into school in September, we'll see if I can keep that up or not, but we will see. I wanted to clarify one thing as we get going here, that last episode, it was me and Alec, but Alec isn't always going to be on this podcast. I'm going to be the main host of this one. Alec and I have another podcast coming out, as I clarified in the last episode. Just about hockey, so he's going to be taking a big role in that one. This podcast, though, I am just going to be hosting myself, and I have a bunch of people that are going to be coming on this. I got a whole list of guests and people that really want to be on it, and I'm so happy that you guys want to be on this as much as I want to have you on this. We got a really good episode for you guys today, though. Today is going to be all about my journey with mental illness and my struggle throughout the past 4 years now. It's been battling all these different mental illnesses. So let me give you guys a quick introduction to what I've struggled with since 2017. Just 2 years ago, I started therapy and I got officially diagnosed with a severe type of depression, performance anxiety, and seasonal affective disorder, which spells out sad. So it only affects me certain times of the year, but it does make me sad. There's a lot of good things that go on throughout my life, though. I mean, as much as these mental illnesses can affect me and can affect all of you guys, it doesn't define who I am as a person. It just affects me in different ways at different times. And the problem with mental illness is you never know when it's going to hit you. You never know when it's going to come out of nowhere. I'll be at work and it'll affect me when a customer is kind of rude, and then it'll ruin my whole shift. Or one of my coworkers says something to me that makes me a little upset. That can affect me too. It's little things that can just like snap, and next thing you know, you're sad or you're angry or whatever, however your mental illness affects you. I want to make sure that this episode, though, is not going to be a story time, as much as I'm going to take you guys through the timeline of everything, dating back to actually 2014, which was the start of high school for me. I'm gonna kind of tell you guys the whole story, but I don't really want this to be like a story time kind of thing, like one of those YouTube videos. And before we get going with all that, I want to say hello to all the YouTube viewers. You guys can see me speaking right here. I hope you guys like this whole overlay thing that I got going on. I don't know. I'm playing around with some overlays and stuff. And again, I'm still working on getting this podcast in person too when it comes to newer guests and all that, but as far as this goes, I mean, it's just me. So and also hello to my audio only listeners on Spotify. You guys have blown this up on Spotify. This was the first time I've ever done something like this on Spotify. I've never uploaded anything before to Spotify, but you guys have blown this up, and I guess maybe on your drives and laying in bed, if you don't really want to watch a YouTube video, you can always download the podcast on Spotify, which is great to see. I've been looking at the analytics, as much as the analytics don't really mean much. I'm not focusing heavily on them, but it does mean a lot to me. It still does mean a lot for me to see that kind of stuff. I just took a good sip of my iced coffee. All right, let's get back into it though. I want to start with the early high school days. So I mean, like we're talking back to 2014. I was a 14-year-old boy. I had just graduated elementary school, what, like 2 months prior to entering high school. It was a new time for me. I was well aware of mental illness. I was aware that it was a thing. I was taught it in health class. I don't know. I don't really know what years of my life I was taught about mental illness, but I was taught about it. I just never thought I would battle it myself. Life was really good at the time for me. I was probably at the prime years of my hockey career in rep hockey. I had a pretty small group of friends, but like we were, still are to this day, really well knit. I met two of my best friends, like two of my absolute brothers, two of my best friends that year, Alec and Jake. I met them that year. It was just overall, it was a good time in my life, 2014, and um, I was a pretty to myself kind of guy. I was never really outgoing, but that's what I enjoyed. I've always been kind of to myself. I've enjoyed my own time. I've enjoyed my alone time and my introverted lifestyle. It's been something that's treated me well, and it's I have my safe space and I have my safe spaces in my home and when I'm driving and etc etc. So high school was good. The first couple years were really good. I was going through classes. I was never been the guy to get really good grades. I was always an average kid with grades, but I was at a high point, right? I was making new friends. I was meeting new people. I was kind of exploring talking to girls for the first time. It was exciting. It was new to me. You've always like we've had crushes before, but like high school was new. It was an exciting time, and I don't know. To me, it was something I wish I could go back on. I don't dwell on the past too much, but I kind of wish I could go back to high school and redo it and have a good time because I was so focused and caught up on getting good grades and coming home and doing my homework and studying for exams and doing all these class projects, these ISUs, etc., etc., that I feel like I didn't have time to do as much stuff as I wish I could have done as far as like extracurriculars go and all that good stuff. Um, I did play a couple sports. I tried out band in first year, even though I'm not much of a music guy. I listen to a lot of music. I'm just not really a musician kind of guy. But I tried it out. I tried different things. I took a drama class in grade 9, which for me was fun. I enjoy getting out of my comfort zone. This right here, talking to the camera, as Spotify listeners, I'm pointing to my camera right now. Talking face to face with a camera, it's never really been in my comfort zone, but I'm trying it. I'm trying it out. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone as best as possible. Back in December, I tried vlogging, all that. The YouTube viewers know what I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, back on track here. I was. It was a good time. Grade 9, grade 9 and grade 10, and even grade 11. Honestly, I would throw in there. They were good times. They were really good times in my life overall, like outside of school. Obviously, school has been a little stressful for me. I've never been a school guy myself, but everything outside of school, it just in my life in general was good. I was talking to girls. I had a good time with my friends. I was playing hockey at a level that I was really happy with, and overall life was very very good. Moving on to 2017 though. Yeah, I wanted to just hop right into it. I went through my first ever breakup and my first ever feeling of heartbreak in 2017. It was a weird time though. I mean, to be honest, I look back on it and I'm like, okay, like now obviously it's 2021. This was back in 2017. I was in between grade 11 and grade 12 when me and my first like quote unquote real girlfriend broke up. It was a really sad time for me, obviously, because I had never really experienced too much heartbreak at the time. And for me to go through something like that was devastating. And to be completely honest, and I'm not going to say this is the cause of my depression, like my current day depression. I'm not going to say this is the cause of it, but it started, I'd say, with that. That was my first real feeling in my life of like, okay, this really sucks. Like this feeling in my heart right now is like, damn, like I thought this was gonna last forever. Like obviously you're gonna say that in the time, but you know it's not gonna last forever. And I'm not gonna go begging anybody that's still in a high school relationship because I actually do know a couple people that started dating in high school and they're still dating to this day, going into fourth year of university, and I applaud them. But let's be completely honest, guys. Not a lot of high school relationships work out. Um, I know maybe like a handful of adults that were high school sweethearts, and I applaud that because that's commitment, and that takes a lot of that takes thick skin to get through all of the ups and downs of having a relationship last that long. So, bravo to you guys if you guys are still in a relationship from high school, but mine didn't work out the same. We had our differences. We were actually 2 years age difference, so that right there already in high school is a problem because if I'm leaving to university, she's still in high school. Like obviously the times, I mean, we've talked about right person, wrong time already on this podcast, but let's be honest, that wrong person, wrong time in high school. It wasn't gonna last. It wasn't meant to be. It was fun in the time. We dated for like maybe a year. So quite a long time for a high school relationship. I'll take it. Honestly, it was my first real feeling of like like I wouldn't say true love, but it was my first real feeling of love in my heart. So it affected me pretty badly when it happened though. I was some 17-year-old testosterone filled kid. I was angry. I didn't know how to lash out besides working out, and I lashed out by quite literally punching holes in my wall, which isn't the solution. It's I all my walls are redone now. Everything's redone now, but I have a wall to my right actually that I literally punched a dent into the drywall, and my knuckles were bleeding, and it was a bad time for a 17-year-old boy sitting in his room crying because he's never felt heartbreak before. It was a bad time. One thing I learned from it though is that like you just have to enjoy the moment because I was so, and again, like a lot of people, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, like a lot of people, I'm a jealous type. I'm a jealous type of person, and I can be honest with you guys, I get jealous. I'm not afraid to admit it. I do get jealous, even in situations where there is quite literally nothing to be jealous about. It's quite remarkable, actually, how jealous I can get. And this isn't the solution at all. This is what I do. And I'm not telling you guys to ever do this because it's really, really, really bad for you. But when I get jealous, I, I used to lash out and I used to talk too much about it. And I would get quite annoying. And this is kind of why I do this now. Now, if I get jealous, I kind of just hold it all in and I let it build up over time, which I've been told by multiple, multiple, multiple girls that that is just not that's not the right thing to do. And obviously now I know that. I still don't really know what to do when you get jealous. I know talking about it is the right thing, but I don't know the difference, I guess, between talking about it and being too clingy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, I mean, ladies, if you're listening to this and you have any suggestions, just, drop a comment down below and let me know. Because I still don't know to this day what to do if I get jealous. And that was my issue in 2017 as a 17-year-old boy. I got too jealous and I let stupid little things affect me too much and build up in my mind. And it finally got to the point where I lashed out and I kind of just told her, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to feel this way. And yeah, it was me that initiated it. It was me that instigated it, which um to this day sucks. I mean, I look back at it and obviously it wasn't going to work out. I know. She knew. She and I both knew. But like it was fun. It was like one of those little high school relationship things, like meet me at my locker at lunch and meet me at my locker before school. And it was one of those little things. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so in love. I feel so good right now. Like, it was good. It was good at the time. I was having fun. I was exploring, and that was that. But yeah, that was 2017. It's 2021 now. Um, for the rest of high school, I don't believe that I talked to anybody. Well, I did. I talked to other girls. I don't believe that I dated anybody else. I'm genuinely trying to think back. I I had a thing with this girl for about a month, but that didn't really work out either. I don't know why, but I do remember her, and God bless her soul. She's a fantastic girl. I just, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out at the time. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick sip of my iced coffee. I just got home from work, by the way. It's actually 10 a.m. right now when I'm filming this. I started work at 5 a.m. this morning. Bang that shift out quick. Got an iced coffee after work. I'm gonna go in for another sip really quickly, so just hold on, guys. Okay. Sugar-free vanilla iced coffee from McDonald's is it's a gift sent from God, guys. Highly suggest it. I don't really like any other iced coffee flavors. My mom actually bought like the tubs, not the tubs. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, Carton? No, jug. Jug. We'll go with jug. My mom bought the jug of Starbucks iced coffee. The blonde brew. I don't really know what blonde brew iced coffee is, but if you like, again, ladies, I know you guys be going to Starbucks all the time, so if you guys know what blonde brew is, and drop a comment down below, let me know. But the blonde brew iced coffee from Starbucks, chef's kiss, fantastic. All right, you just pour it, pour it over some ice, put a little milk in there, put a little cream in there, whatever you like. Mint. Okay, I'm telling you right now, mint. So that was my iced coffee. Uh, that was me talking about iced coffee for a bit. Let's back it up here. Let's get back on track. All right. High school's done now. Okay, high school's finished. I graduated high school in 2018. Um, Happiest day of my life. I fucking hated high school, and I know I'm gonna be getting comments like, "Oh my god, you should have enjoyed it. You seemed like you were having such a good time." No, I fucking hated it. You know why? Because the teachers were dicks. Well, actually, some of them were nice. Some of them, okay. I shouldn't say that actually, because what if a teacher finds this? What if a teacher's like listening to this from high school? You guys were all like, you guys were nice. You guys were doing your job. It was just, and I guess, yeah, handling high school kids can fucking suck probably. But I just, like, you guys kind of treated me like shit a lot of the time. Like, I felt like I was in the doghouse in high school sometimes. I don't know why. Some teachers were fantastic. Fantastic. Shout out Mr. Blair. Shout out Mr. Vandendoel. Shout out Mr. Brown, Mr. Mowbray. So many more. I could go on. I could Mr. Schultz. Shout out everybody. You guys know who you are. You guys were gems and deserve a fucking medal. Okay? Anyways, high school's over now. Graduated in 2018. Great, great fucking day. It was a great day in my life. All right. I was so happy to be done high school. Um, I didn't really tell you guys about the whole deal about applying to university. Grade 12, I actually applied to 3 universities. So Ontario Tech University, Brock University, and Laurier. I got accepted to all 3, and I chose to go to Ontario Tech University for game development and entrepreneurship, which to this day, really good choice. I'm super happy with where I'm at right now in school, and it's going to keep going. I'm going into 4th year now, so super happy with how that all turned out, okay? I'm happy I didn't choose Brock. I'm happy I didn't choose Laurier. I'm happy I chose Ontario Tech University, which actually at the time was called University of Ontario Institute of Technology, UOIT. Super happy I chose that. So anyways, I graduate high school. I actually graduated at Ontario Tech University. That's kind of why I thought about the whole university thing. Graduated high school, great day. Great day. Summer 2018, fantastic summer. Had a fun time. I was hanging out with friends. I was getting ready to go to university. Everything was thumbs up. All right. Here's where shit really starts to hit the fan, though. Okay. In my life and in my battle with mental illness, this was I call this the point now where life really started to fucking suck. And okay, I want to clarify one more thing here before I continue. I'm not downing on life at all. I don't down on life. I count my blessings every single day. I have a very strong faith in God. I go to church when I can. I say when I can. I mean, I go physically to church now due to COVID, but I still watch church on Sundays. Um, Life is good. Life is very good. Okay. I'm just talking about my mental illness journey. Like, this is where shit really started to hit the fan as far as my mental illness goes, as far as my depression, as far as my performance anxiety, seasonal affective disorder, everything. This is where it really started to hit the fan here. And I'm talking about first year of university. Okay. I lived on residence at Ontario Tech for first year. I had one roommate who I met that year, actually. His name was John. Great guy. Love the guy. Will forever love the guy. Fantastic roommate. We had some very funny memories in first year, and we just had a good time. But the lifestyle that we had to live in that residence was shit. It was, the quality of life was brutal. We lived, and again, okay, let me say one thing really quickly. I'm about to really bag the residents, but it's still a blessing that we had a roof over our head. It's still a blessing that we got food on the table every day. Okay? Great blessings, great blessings. But I'm gonna bag it anyways. There's gonna be some of you that are like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't be bagging this. Like, you have a roof over your head, all that. That's why I had to clarify quickly, because there's gonna be some of you guys thinking that. For me though, growing up in such a great house, I have this big room. I'm living such a great lifestyle. I have loving parents. I have a great sister. Everything was so well for 18 years of my life living in this room, and having such a big space and such a happy space and such a good environment at home. For me to live 18 years like that, and then to go and live in the shoebox of a residence that we lived in, with literally one window in the, or sorry, two windows in the entire residence, in the entire room that we had. Not a lot of sunlight at all. The main area in our dorm was not lit at all. No sunlight, no natural light, nothing like that. For me to go from this lifestyle, sorry, to that was like getting hit by a train. Um, I'm not at all gonna go ahead and call myself a mama's boy, but my mother treats me so well, and throughout my entire life, she has been my rock and my cornerstone. So shout out, mom. Love you so much, and I'll always love you. For me not to have her in my first year sucked. I was lost. And again, it was a great experience for me, but I was lost in life. I didn't know what I was doing. I got thrown right into that dorm. And again, I didn't have to. I didn't have to live in that dorm first year. It was a good experience. I wanted to try it out. My parents wanted me to try it out just to see what the lifestyle's like. Um, Spoiler alert, it was shit. It again, I'm gonna complain here, and I don't want to sound like a spoiled brat at all, because again, I count my blessings, and I have a fantastic life, and I know there are parts of the world that don't have what I have, and I recognize that, and I wish I could make a change. Um, the food that we got fed was terrible. The quality of life in that dorm was terrible, and that's really the point in my life that started everything. Um, like living with seasonal affective disorder is terrible because that kind of starts up at the exact same time that school starts up. So my seasonal affective disorder lines perfectly with the first semester of every school year. So going through seasonal affective disorder, living a really bad lifestyle, and starting off my first year of university with some really, really hard courses, all of that together fucked me. It fucked me. Like I was, I don't even know how to explain it. I woke up and I could not smile. I couldn't be happy with anything. Um, Shout out Aaron LeBlanc right now, and um, rest in peace to one of my really good friends, Aaron Chambers. He was he was a huge, huge, huge part of my first year. Both Aarons, Aaron LeBlanc and Aaron Chambers, two incredible people, great parts of my first year. You guys are the reason that I made it through first year, and I was able to get out of bed on some days. You guys would come meet me at my dorm and get me up, and we'd go grab some food, or we'd go to a study hall and go study. And you guys honestly are the sole reason that I was able to get up and finish first year. So rest in peace to you, my brother. I know you're up there in heaven looking down on all of us. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you did for me in first year. You were my angel. You were my angel, and I know that you're up there right now, and you still are my angel to this day. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. It was hard, though. First year was still hard. I couldn't I couldn't cope with the fact that I had to live this lifestyle every day. I would literally call my parents every weekend and tell them to come pick me up so that I could come home and sleep in my own bed, because there's nothing like your own bed. And I had a different bed there. They gave us, it was the place was furnished, so we had our own furniture, and or we had our furniture there and another bed, but everybody knows that there's nothing like your own bed. Everybody loves their own bed, and I love my safe space here, and I don't know what I would do without it. Um the lifestyle in that dorm though was, it was bad, and my like my way of coping when my friends would go home and it was just John and I around, like we'd go here. Okay, here's my average day in first year university. Okay, wake up, go to an early class, come back to the room, maybe hang out with Aaron, with both Aarons. We would chill, we would do our thing, we would go get food or lunch or whatever, go to another class, and then come back, chill again, or go to a study hall and study, or work on our GDW assignments, all that good stuff. And then we'd come back, maybe chill for a little more, and then Aaron would go home, or both Aarons would go home. Okay, and then it was just John and I in the apartment, or in the not the apartment, in the dorm. We would chill for a bit, either uh yeah, we would chill, and then we would go get dinner, and then we'd come back. And 5 days a week for 8 months, it was like that. And it sounds like a pretty good life. It sounds like a pretty simple, pretty average university life, right? But to be honest, it it didn't it seems like that as I'm saying it out loud right now, but I'm looking back at just the lifestyle in general, and like living in that shoebox, eating the same shit food 3 times a day. And okay, I feel really bad every time I say shit food, because they're like, it wasn't nourishing. It wasn't healthy food at all. It wasn't like anything good. I know there's people across the world starving, and I know that they would kill to live the lifestyle that I had in first year. But I'm I'm comparing it to the lifestyle that I grew up with for 18 years, and again, I don't want to sound spoiled at all. I really don't. I don't want to sound like a spoiled bitch, because it was still a blessing to live that lifestyle. It just sucked at the time. and it really affected me mentally. And I wish I could go back and maybe do something about it. I had to Here's an example of what I had to do to like help me sleep at night, because some nights I had to I stayed up all night because that was my like first real feeling of depression, like genuine depression, or I could not sleep. And like sleep deprivation is still an issue right now that I have with my depression, but that was my first real feeling of it. I had to bring like my blankets, like the blankets that I so my mom bought me a whole new bed set of blankets and pillowcases for university. It was good for a while. I just couldn't do it anymore though. So I had to bring my own sheets, blanket, pillowcases, etc. I brought that to the dorm just to help me sleep at night. And it helped. It honestly helped. It helped me get through some of the nights. The sun goes down, and it goes down at like 5 o'clock, and it's pitch black, and it sucks, and it's snowing outside, it's freezing, all that. And that is quite honestly why I fell into depression, because of that lifestyle that I like completely switched up on. And then adding on to first year, I ended up failing a class that was like that still to this day in 2021 affects me. Like it was crucial in my program to pass that, and I didn't. And again, I know it's a blessing to me now because I see how it's going to help me in the long run. But I failed that class, first ever class that I failed in my life, throughout elementary school, throughout high school, anything. Never failed a class in my life. That was my first failure, and it was at the tail end of probably the worst school year of my life. So that was the first real feeling of like genuine chronic depression. Like chronic depression. Moving on though, throughout that summer was good. That was now summer 2019. It was good. It was so good. I told myself, we discussed all summer, after first year, am I going to get a place in Oshawa to live at, or am I going to live at home? My mom ended up getting a new car, handed down her car to me. So, bang, now I have a car. I already had my license, but now I have a car. Okay? So I can live at home. Hooray. I can be back to my own lifestyle. I can have my safe space here. I can sleep in my own bed every night. I can do my work on my computer or on my laptop, whatever. Everything was good. For second year now, I'm set, right? I got my mind set. Okay. I'm going to school every day. I'm driving. I'm getting up early, going to school. Every break that I have in between classes, I'm going to the library. I'm going to the cafeteria to get food. Everything is going so well. First semester passed, so good. Everything was so good. Passed all my classes. Everything mint. Okay. Second semester starts. This is now start of 2020. Second semester starts. Everything's good. We're looking great. Getting through my classes. Going to the library. I'm staying late. Staying late after classes. Staying in the library and studying. Everything's good. Everything's good. And then this thing starts rising up on the news. You guys may have heard it. You may have not heard of it. It's called COVID-19. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but it fucked everything. Honestly, it ruined everything. It shut everything down. I wasn't going to school no more, like in-person classes. You guys know the whole deal. I don't even need to explain that to you. But like, it sucked. And again, I've come to the realization now that I wasn't the only one that this affected. But it sucked. Like, it genuinely sucked. I had such a good system going. I was like, okay, first year sucked. Now I can like have a bounce back here. And it was like everything was going so well. The pieces were falling into place. Everything was going good. Second year, mint. Okay, and then COVID hit, and it sucked. It screwed everything. That was my first year of commuting to school. it was good. Like I was like I'd be sitting in my car, I'd be driving to school, driving back from school, and like bright and early in the morning, driving home from school at in the dark because past 5 p.m. in the winter it's dark. And I would be driving home, vibing to some music. It was just every day was a good day. Every day was such a good day. And then bang, COVID hits in March and everything shut down, full online school. You guys know the whole deal. How do I cope with this now? I don't know. I never knew. I didn't know how I was going to do this online school because I like I don't like to associate my safe space here in my room, uh, my my personal PC, everything. I don't like to associate that with school at all. I don't like to mix the two. I have my safe space here. I have my space at school. Okay? I have those two separate lifestyles, and then my third is my work, my job, right? I don't like to associate the three together at all or the two together. I like to have them all separately. So putting school and my safe space together sucked. I didn't like it at all. But it is what it is, right? You can't go dwelling on COVID. I'm not gonna blame anybody for COVID. It sucked. It shut down the whole world. Everybody knows how that how it affected people. But here's the one good thing about the start of COVID and towards the tail end of my second year of university. This is the point now where I started going to therapy for my mental health problems. I never wanted to go. Thank God for my mom because she really like there was only so much that my mom could do for me because it got to a point where I was waking up every day. I couldn't even put the fake smile on my face. I was sad and I was up at night and I was crying every night and I just didn't know what to do and my mom didn't know what to do and I never wanted to go to therapy because I was scared to hear what the therapist was going to say because I knew she was going to diagnose me with depression. I knew that. I already knew I was depressed. I just didn't want to hear it from a professional. But thank God I went because therapy helped me a lot and it's helped me to this day. It was all remote because of COVID, so I was on like Zoom with my therapist, but we got to talking. She told me like why my mental illness is affecting me the way it is, what seasonal affective disorder is, what my performance anxiety is doing to me, etc., etc. And I'm super happy that I went. Like I have nothing bad to say about therapy. It was worth it. It's been worth it for me. It's helped me through some pretty shit dark times in my life. And thank God for my therapist too. She's a fantastic lady. She's helped me uh, gain this mindfulness attitude and to be mindful of what I got going on around me and what's going on in my life, etc., etc., etc. Another great outlet for me that I've had throughout COVID was poetry. Some of you guys may know that I love poetry and I love writing poetry. Some of you guys may not know that about me. If you guys want to hear some of my poetry one time, maybe I can find a way to put it out there somewhere. I haven't shared it really too much. I've shared a little bit of it, but poetry was such a good outlet for me. Music was a fantastic outlet for me. Rest in peace X, rest in peace Juice WRLD. Two of my absolute favorite artists passed away. Um, their music has just been something special to me, and it spoke volumes to me throughout COVID and throughout my struggle with mental illness. But yeah, I was trapped in the house. Everybody was trapped in the house, and it's affected people differently. It's affected so many people differently. I've heard stories of depression. I've heard stories of the extroverts that really want to get out, and it's good to see now that things are starting to get a little more loose and people are starting to go out again and people are starting to go to their big social gatherings and their raves, etc., concerts and all that good stuff, and patios and everything. It's good to see. I'm kind of happy that we get to kind of get out of this hermit lifestyle too. As introverted as I am, as much as I love this safe space, I'm happy that we get to go out again. It sucks though because I explained this in the last episode. I've really picked up some serious social anxiety. I don't really know how to talk to people anymore. So now 2020/2021, I finished my third year of university completely online, passed all my courses, actually had my best GPA in school, which is super surprising. Um, I would say genuinely that school has been probably the biggest cause of my depression. I would say school is 60% of my depression. And you guys are wondering, well, Jaden, what's the 40%? Um, women. Women are the 40%, the other 40%. No women in particular. Um, it's kind of just all added up over time. Now, I'm not going to go paging no women right now. Um, but yeah, I'd say that my love life has been shit. I can accept that. Throughout university, women, like girls, have come and gone. You guys all know who you are. I'm not gonna go and put you guys under the bus because out of all the women I've talked to in my life, and especially over the last like 3 years, I've talked to quite a lot of you. And no, I'm not a playboy. I'm not a man whore or yeah, anything like that. I'm not a dog, anything, okay? Where I get some comments that are like, oh, how many women do you talk to at once? Not a lot, okay? But when I do talk to a woman, I like to get really invested and I like to be committed and loyal and see where it goes. My problem is I get kind of clingy. So, and you guys, if one of the girls that I've talked to in my past are listening to this, you guys are probably laughing right now and you're like, yeah, you're one clingy motherfucker. Yeah, I could say, yeah, I probably was. And again, we talked about the jealousy earlier. I get jealous too, and now I don't let it like I don't let it lash out, but and I keep it to myself, which again, not a good idea. Yeah, my love life overall has been kind of shit. Um, it I don't really I don't know what to say about it. It got to a point where I was like, how do I don't even know. It got to a point where I was like numb. Like picture this feeling. Like you guys know how like if you sleep funny on your arm, then your arm goes numb or your arm falls asleep or your hand falls asleep. You guys know like that pins and needles feeling that you can get in your hands sometimes? That, metaphorically speaking, is how my heart was feeling for a long time. My heart was numb. I was numb to heartbreak. I was like, okay, I had this really negative mindset of like I'm going to enjoy this girl right now and then she's going to go and break my heart and then it's not going to work out and then the same cycle is going to happen with the next one. I had that mindset for so long and I couldn't get it out of my head. I could not get that idea out of my head. And then I met the last girl that okay, hold on. Before I go into that. I had where was I? I completely lost. Okay, hold on. Let me take a sip of my iced coffee and we'll come back to that. Oh, that is some really good iced coffee. All right. 2021 came, finished up my school year. Yeah, I'm completely going back now. You guys are listening to my fucking podcast, okay? Leave me alone. I'm going back. 2021 finished up the school year. Or before I finished up the school year actually, I actually had appendicitis, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when your appendix is coming really close to bursting and you have to get a surgery to get it removed. So, yeah, I had my first surgery this past year and um as bad as that was, like one silver lining that came out of it was um I met a girl that I quite honestly like kind of fell in love with. Like I just loved everything about her, and to this day I still love everything about her even though we don't really talk too much. It was it was a good time in my life. We spent a couple months together and it was overall just good. It was fun and I don't regret anything about it. I don't have anything bad to say about her. It just kind of, and I touched on this last episode, it just kind of ended abruptly, and we talked about that whole idea of right person, wrong time, and that's all it was. It was right person, wrong time. We're at different points in our lives, and as much as I kind of fell into this hole of depression, like it happened. It was a great experience and it really showed me like, hey, there's still good girls out there. There's still good women out there, and it gives me a lot of hope for the future, and like thank God for her because I don't know. I don't know where I'd be at right now if it wasn't for her. She brought out a better side of me and really showed me the positives in life and just how good life can be. And even though my depression and anxiety still affect me to this day, like I can always like I can confidently say now that I can bounce back from anything, from anything that my depression has in store. I can bounce back from it and genuinely say like life is good. Life is life is a blessing. Um yeah, it thank God for her, honestly. None of you guys probably even know who I'm talking about. She knows I'm talking about her. And we didn't end on bad terms. Everything's good. Everything's great. All that good stuff. That was probably the best situation I've ever had in my life because such good things came out of it. Um, Nothing negative came out of it. My past situations with girls, my past relationships, my past talking stages, something negative always happened. Something negative always came out of it. I don't know why. Um, it just, for whatever reason, something negative just always sprung from it. And this past situation with her, nothing bad came out of it. It just kind of ended, which sucked. As much like it depressed me, obviously, and it made me like overthink a lot of things. But overall, nothing really negative came from it, and I'm happy and I'm content with myself. I'm just super happy that she's happy, and now that I can be happy about everything. So that was that. As far as my content creation stuff, like I'm finally starting to get back on foot with that and having this podcast. You guys are entering my mind, and I know my train of thought is like, holy shit. Like, you guys are probably thinking, like, holy shit, Jaden, like, slow the fuck down. Slow down, okay? Slow your train of thought a little bit here. But that's my mind. My mind is just always going. It's just going, 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 going. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. But if you guys are listening to this, you guys are entering my mind. And soon enough, you guys are going to be entering the minds of others and the people that I'm going to have on this podcast. And for you guys to be listening to this it's like this episode specifically was like me opening up, and I'm so comfortable now with this level of vulnerability. And I my goal my goal from this episode was just to explain to you guys like no matter how dark times can get, no matter what negatives life has to throw at you, there can always be a positive outcome. There can always be something good coming out of this, coming out of any situation. There has to be. That's the only way that we as human beings get through each and every day. You don't want to get caught in the same cycle of negativity and doing the same thing every day. You want to change things up. You want to keep things fresh and keep things positive, and that's the only way we get through all this, guys. I know that you guys are going through some shit too. I'm not the only one. This whole podcast, this episode was my specific story. You guys have your own stories to tell, right? But what positives can we take from your story, right? I've told you the deepest, darkest things that have happened in my life in the past 7 years, what life has been like for me. But like I said, there was always a positive out of every situation. Throughout this journey, throughout this struggle, this past 4 years of battling depression and anxiety, throughout that struggle, I've been on my own journey of self-love and self-contention, which is great. It's it's a great feeling, guys. And if you're not there yet, if you don't love yourself yet, it's going to come. You can't just go to sleep one night and wake up the next morning and love yourself. It's a long battle, it's a long struggle. You have to really be content with who you are, and right now, I'm happy. Life is good. Life is so good. I count my blessings every single day. I know what I have and I know what I don't have, but I'm not dwelling on what I don't have. I'm taking what I have and rolling with it. And I really, really, really hope you guys can do the same thing eventually too. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this second episode. I have so much planned for the future. This is going to be a bi-weekly thing. I'm going to try and keep this motivation to bang out these episodes bi-weekly. You guys are phenomenal. Each and every one of you. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. I love all of you guys for listening and for watching and for putting up with my bullshit for, what are we? We've been 53 minutes now. You guys are just listening to me ramble on about life. But I hope it helps you guys. Like, honestly, you guys have so much to give. Each and every one of you. You guys just have so much to give. You guys never set the bar too low. Keep on raising that bar. You guys can hit new ceilings every day. I know you can. I believe in you. And I'm proud of you guys for going through this struggle. Because it's not an easy one. And you're never alone though. Ever. You're never alone in this struggle. I'm so, so, so proud of you guys for going through what you go through every single day. Because I know personally that it's not an easy battle. Guys, I want to thank you so, so, so much for listening, though. We've been going on for almost an hour now. You guys have now heard my story and my struggle with mental illness, which, to be honest, nobody has ever heard. I've never shared that story with anybody. The whole thing. Obviously, parts of it people have heard. I've never shared the entire story with anybody, and now all you guys have heard it. Thank you so much for listening. I can't thank you guys enough. For everybody listening on Spotify, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal. I hope that you continue to share this with friends and to know that you're not alone. For my friends watching on YouTube, you guys continue to kill it as well. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, and all that good stuff. People on Spotify, make sure you guys keep on downloading that shit. Keep on downloading that shit. I think we hit like 70 downloads in 2 weeks, which fucking phenomenal. Like, so, so happy. I can't thank you guys enough, honestly, because you guys are keeping me motivated to continue to do this. I cannot thank you guys enough. I hope you guys have a fantastic day or night whenever you guys are watching or listening to this. Make sure you tell somebody you love them today and hold your loved ones close. Thank you guys so, so, so much for watching and for listening. And we will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.